Welcome back to JPad Tuning. Guys, we've got a wicked guest coming up. We've got Curry from United Cheer Apparel, talking about everything to do with uniforms, pro shops, all things like that. But before we go there, if you want to get involved in JPad Tuning, simply give us a message, either comment below this video on YouTube, message us on Instagram, message us on Facebook, or send us an email. We'll happily have you on. We'd love to hear your story, what you love to do in cheer. Yeah, so just get in touch. However, let's move on and see what they've got to say.
Thank you very much for coming on. In 45 seconds, can you tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, what you do?
Of course. So my name's Karen. I own United Cheer Apparel, so an apparel business. We've been open for about 3 years. I absolutely love it. It's my passion, creating the most amazing apparel for all you athletes. I was a competitive cheerleader for about 12 years, and I retired in 2018 or 17, but it was long ago. And I also judge. I judge at events. So, yeah.
Wicked. So, who was you cheering for then in competitive cheer?
So I started on a really little team where I used to live, called Harrogate Hornets. And then I went to Aviators in Leeds. So I competed on AV for, I was on their all-girl level 6 for 2 years. Then I went to their co-ed 5 for another 2 years. So I was there for about 5 years. I competed on their uni team. And then I went to university, didn't really like it. So I'm actually American. So I decided to go back to America and live with my grandparents for a few months. And then when I came back, my parents had relocated to near Manchester. So me and my partner, Lee, who's also a cheerleader, we relocated up to Manchester and joined the Stars for 2 years.
Oh, awesome.
And that was our last team. So we retired. We competed in cheer sport in 2018. We won cheer sport nationals. We competed at Worlds that year. And then we both just said, you know what, we couldn't do the United Cheer Apparel, the cheerleading, the judging. We couldn't do it all. So we thought, oh, we've had our time. So we decided to retire.
Yeah, hang up those shoes and...
We thought about going back last year. But I don't know. I don't think my body could take it anymore.
Like when you was doing it, like was it literally full on? Were you 24/7 in cheer?
Yeah. So on our last year, we sort of knew it was going to be our last year. So that's why we did 2 international teams. And our life was at the gym. If we weren't at the gym, we were judging. If we weren't judging, we were in the office doing cheerleading. It was just full on. So the last year, I think we trained every single weekend and probably 3 nights a week. So, and it gets to the point as well, when you get to a certain age, you want to go on nice holidays, and you can't do that when you go into Worlds and all of that. So we just thought, we both competed at Worlds 6 times. So we were just like, we just had enough.
6 times, wow.
Yeah.
Like when you did compete at Worlds for like the first time, do you remember the feeling when like you walked into like the whole atmosphere? Was it overwhelming? Or
it was, yeah. So I went from level 2 to level 6 within I was only level 2 when I tried out for the level 6 team and I got on. So I was one of the most like inexperienced athletes there, and probably one of the youngest for all girl 6. I think I was the youngest, because you have to be, I think it's 17. It was just a different world. Yeah. It was amazing. So it was good.
Like how was that jumping from 2 to 6? Like did it take a hell of a lot of work to...
Yeah, I think in a way for me it was good, because I just started from the bottom and I just learned the skills as they were in level 6. So I had no like experience in level 3 or 4 or 5. So I just sort of I just got taught fresh. So for me it worked, and I wasn't really scared of anything. Because I think for level 6 you can't be scared of anything, and if you've done level 5 and you've had like drops or falls and something, and you're scared of certain skills, whereas level 6 you just have to commit to it and just go for it. So for me it worked because I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
And it was good. And then after 2 years of level 6, I was like, oh, well, I'll try level 5 because I was on all girls, so I wanted to try co-ed. I still don't know which one I like better. I mean, I went all girls 6 to co-ed 5, and then I went to co-ed 6. I like them all for different reasons.
Yeah. Brilliant. So you did all of that. You went to World 6 times, and then obviously you hung up your shoes and you continued with the judging as well.
Yeah. So it got to
Yeah.
the point where when the season started, so mainly around November, but it really picked up. It would probably be this time. It would start really picking up. I was judging 2-3 times a month. So and obviously you're going to all different places. I was judging in Barcelona, all around the UK, and I loved it. And I liked being on the other side of the mat. And I learned so much, and I'm excited to get back to it. I really miss it.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly how you feel there. I can't wait to be traveling the country. And
I know, and just like getting up at yesterday, we had a virtual photo shoot, and we got up at like 7, and I was like, oh, I sort of feel like I'm getting up and getting ready, because we had to like get ready, and I was like, oh, I sort of feel like a bit of normality, but
yeah.
just to sit in the house.
Brilliant. And like United Cheer apparel,
Yeah,
how did that come about? Like was it just like, right, I want to do apparel?
it was really, there was no really like moment where I was like, this is what I want to do. So all through cheerleading, I was always that kid. At every comp, I had to have the t-shirt. For when my team released merch, I had every single bit of merch. Like, I just loved it. Anything sparkly. Like in America, when we went to Worlds and stuff, I'd be around that World shop. Like, I want everything. And I just always loved it, to the point where I had like 7 wardrobes full of just cheerleading stuff. And I was like, this is getting to the point where I need to get rid of some of it. And it just sort of like happened. I just sort of started doing it, and then just sort of like was like, oh, I really love it, and then it just grew and went from there. And I absolutely love doing it. I love seeing teams in all the nice sparkly training kit, and providing teams with what they need and what they want.
So you work alongside teams to help them with their sort of like merch line?
Yeah, to create like t-shirts, training kit, anything like that. We just launched, God, it was last year, pro shops online, so you can create your own pro shop on our website. Parents and athletes can shop directly from us, so it's a bit easier, so the coaches don't have to faff around with everything. So we did that last year to hopefully make coaches' lives a bit easier. And I think through the lockdown, the one thing that has been good is coaches have really had time, and we've had fun, like designing things ready for when we can reopen, doing like lockdown t-shirts for all the kids that are training in lockdown. And it will pay off, like all the training and Zooms that they're doing and everything. It will pay off when they get back into the gym.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like the other people that I've been speaking to, it has been like, it is basically carry on with the Zoom lessons, because although they are tedious, but because what's the word?
You skills that you wouldn't, like things like conditioning and stretching, you wouldn't necessarily have a lot of time to focus on them when we're like full speed in comp season. So I think, I mean, it is a bit tedious now. We're a year down the line. I mean, in the first few months I was like, yeah, keep going, it'll be really good. And now I'm like a year later, yeah, keep going, but it will pay off. I think it's just having to get into the gym and seeing that it has made a difference, but it definitely will.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like the flexibility of athletes is going to be ridiculous after all the conditioning they've been doing. And
I hope to see that as a judge. I hope to see all the jumps nice and high, and stretches on point, and no bent legs, and
yeah,
can't wait for the day.
Like, what do you reckon the first comp back is going to be like? Do you reckon like there's going to be people camping outside? And
it's hard to say. I don't know. I would like to think it's going to be as normal as possible, within terms of, you've seen in New Zealand, like they've done, like little boxes where like the programs are like in that box, and I would hope to say that we would be able to have like a live audience, whether that just be a program or and it's worked in America. I mean, Cheer Sport Nationals went ahead, and it seemed to run pretty smooth. I don't know. I think it all depends on the restrictions and like what Boris says and the like rule on events. But I would hope to see it return to as normal as possible, but enough for it to feel like a competition.
Yeah. I suppose we've just got to adapt to it, haven't we? And
Yeah, and I think there's
right.
certain things that will be easy to adapt to, but then other things might be a bit more difficult. But I think we're more than capable and of running a safe event.
Yeah.
I just wish it would hurry up.
Don't we all? Don't we all? But like going back to like cheer apparel, when you're looking at like training kits
Yeah.
and all that kind of thing and designing them, what do you actually have to look into? Like, what would you say if I was a team and I was like, right, I need a training kit, what would
Yeah.
I actually have to bear in mind when doing it?
There's a lot to bear in mind. I suppose there's different types of training kits. So whether you want like it depends. So like an international team who are going out to America might want a crop and shorts because that's going to be worn a lot in America, all the sparkle, you know, everything like that. Or if you want more of, it depends also on who your target market is within your club. So if you've got a load of little ones, then maybe you want something a bit more simple and something that, so some of our kit has minimum order quantities, so you have to bear that in mind. So, and it depends on if you want leggings, if you want a t-shirt, if you want like what type of training kit you want. And it has to be comfortable for the athletes, and it has to last. So it has to have sort of print on it or whatever we're doing in places that will last, because I think that's the key is having training kit that lasts you, and it's good quality and it's comfortable to train in. So there's a lot to think about, really. But that's what we do. We work with the coaches and say, well, what are you looking for? What do you want it for? Do you want it for like wearing twice a week training in, or do you want it for comp, or do you want it for, so like a lot of our world teams, they'll go for like all the full sparkle like training skirts, but some teams don't want that. They want their athletes would rather the Nike Pro style shorts and a t-shirt. So it just depends on really what the kids want to wear and what they feel most comfortable in, and what's the best quality and what's the best option for them.
Yeah, so it's basically just having a real think about who, what, where.
Yeah, and what
Yeah.
their kids will also want to buy.
Yeah, so I suppose it would be getting like their opinions as well, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
And working through there and getting a list together.
Yeah, and seeing what they already come to training in and what they feel comfortable in and what they like to wear. Or you might get a team that love training in full crop and shorts, or a team that would rather train in a t-shirt and leggings. It's down to the coach as well as what they prefer and what they want to see, if they want to see their team uniformed or not, or depends.
Ooh, interesting. Interesting. How has it been then running United Cheer Apparel during this time? Obviously, have you?
It's been difficult. Obviously we've been quieter than we would normally be. So the lockdown happened just before Worlds last year. So we had a really, really good like build up, and then just before Worlds, obviously Worlds got cancelled or postponed, or and it went quiet. We've still been busy, but not as busy as we would have been, because obviously people don't want to buy things when they don't know what's going to happen. But we've been working on loads of cool things, and like I said, it's giving coaches the time to sit down with us and actually think about what they want and come up with some really cool designs. And if anything, it's giving them more time to really think about it. And design a lot of cool stuff.
Like, because I've seen what was the t-shirt you did at the start?
The comeback is greater than the
setback. I thought that was a wicked t-shirt, and it looked like it went absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it did. So that was, I just wanted something to like unite everybody together and just remember that we will come out of this stronger, and all them Zoom sessions and everything will pay off. So I thought, well, what can I do that people will want, first of all, and something that will portray that message. So we should soon have a lockdown 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever we're in t-shirt coming out soon.
Awesome.
Hopefully this one's the last, but this one will be for all the athletes that have carried on training, and it'll just be something to look back at, because in a year's time, when we forgot what this was ever like, it will be a distant memory, hopefully, and it will be something to talk about, and we'll have to remember this time, and that when we all stuck together and carried on through the Zoom sessions. And
Yeah, like that's definitely, you saying that, like stuck together and all that. I think the whole sort of industry has become a community.
definitely,
They were before, but even more so
it brought
now.
people so
And
much closer, I think, and it sort of just opened up people to speaking to each other and new ideas, and where we were also invested in just what we thought was normal cheerleading and just carrying on. And I think we found so much more when we've actually, everyone's had the time to sort of talk to each other, and like the ideas and everything that everyone shared is just amazing. And like
yeah,
the campaign that everyone did to get cheerleading back to stunting, and it just really showed that like we are united.
yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt. And like it's all like the Zoom lessons and Zoom swapping
Yeah,
and getting the
and
guest
all the
coaches
coaches
in.
doing, yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it's fantastic to see.
It is,
And
and I think it'll be so lovely when we're at comp and
mhm,
teams will be like, "Oh, that's the coach who did ours." Like, they'll know people,
yeah.
and other teams as well will interact a lot more, I think.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like there will be the whole, it's not just going to comp to compete, it's going to see your friends,
Yeah,
essentially,
yeah,
isn't it? And although it was before, but friends from the other end of the country, and
yeah. They
it'd be,
wouldn't necessarily normally have spoken to, or would know, or I think it's been good.
yeah. Oh, it has been
Be
fantastic.
nice to see, sort of sit back and watch it all. So we're not really, we do camps, so we go into teams, and I do cleanup camps. Lee does a lot of like stunt technique and stuff like that. But it's just nice to sit back and just watch all the teams, and how they're learning and how they're growing. Not necessarily in a way that we knew before this.
Hmm.
But it's really nice to just sit back and watch everything.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. So, have you got anything on the horizon then? You've mentioned the top. Is there anything else that you're planning for the future that you can give a
Nothing,
sneak peek or?
nothing that I can give a sneak peek at the moment, but we're planning big. So
So watch this space, kind
yeah,
of.
watch this space.
Awesome. Like if you had the opportunity to speak to someone that was feeling a bit down, what would you say to them about, like, to motivate them to get back into it and in their headspace?
Just keep going. Just, I always say a positive mindset is positive outcomes, and it's easy enough to say, to try and stay positive, but just get up and do something that makes you feel better, whether that's go for a walk, or whether that's get on a Zoom call with your friends and train, or whether that's taking your dog out, or whatever it is. Just try and always stay in that positive mindset, and you'll get positive results from it, and it will pay off.
Yeah, without a doubt. I completely agree with you there.
Yeah, I think it's just important just to, and it sounds like it's just a broken record, like stay positive, keep going, but I think staying positive really is the key, and thinking positively. So change the way you think and think of positive outcomes instead of thinking of the negative.
Yeah.
Think about what this could benefit. Think about in months to come what it's going to be like when this is no longer and Zooms are no longer and we're back to training. Think about that first training session when you get to go and see all your friends and your coaches, and when we can stunt again. Think about the first competition and you walking back out on that floor. It's just going to be amazing.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree. But like if someone wanted to come to you and discuss like their training kit or any of their like pro shop and that, how would they find you?
So website www.unitedcheerapparel.com, or email us, that's info@unitedcheerapparel.com, or find us on Instagram, Facebook, send us a message and we'll be more than happy to help. It's been a good time during the lockdown to get people's pro shops set up, because like I said, they've got the time, and then the pro shop's just there ready for when we get back to training. It's all set up, done, so it's a good time to get it done.